I'm not defending her. Jada needs to shut the F up probably forever. But there's something about this whole situation that just isn't sitting right with me, and nobody else is pointing that out.
I just told you who I thought I was. A guy. Bitch, I'm the villain.
Nigga. Jada Pinkett Smith won't be quiet, y'all. She won't shut up. She is out talking about the entanglement all over again on this book tour. She wrote a book. I don't know what the name of the book is. I don't care. And in the book, I guess she's talking about all of her exploits and whatnot. And folk really just been on her ass about it. Rightfully so, because why do you keep talking about this? We know way too much information about what's going on, and none of us asked for any of it. So, okay, a lot of what I'm seeing right now is content creators putting this out there, and they're harping on the parts where she's saying, I have to tell my truth. And I've got to put it out there. At one point, she said something like, insert it.
And I'm like, so I'm like, well, I'm going to have to speak my truth, but I'm also going to protect you.
Everybody's been acting like Jada just came out the blue with all of this. That she just woke up one day and was like, ooh, I think I'm going to ruin my husband's life. And that's not what happened. That's not how it happened. Do you guys not even remember the whole reason why she had to come out and tell her truth and give us an explanation? Because she wasn't the first one to open her mouth. Not until August Alsina did that interview. August was the one that came out and said he been sleeping with Jada. August was. So while we're sitting here bashing Jada, which once again, yes, please shut the F up forever, lady. Be quiet. Zip it. Be quiet. We still need to address the fact that this young man decided to ruin not only this couple, not only the whole family unit, but our illusion of the epitome of Black love. I want a real love, dark skin and Aunt Viv love, that Jada and that Will love. The leave a toothbrush at your crib love, and you ain't gotta wonder whether that's your kid love. Will and Jada aren't some small YouTuber or, some actor that's been acting for the last 10 to 15 years. No, my generation grew up with these people, okay? So we see their love in a completely different light. And now that we have so much information about their relationship, it's almost like, ooh, I don't want that. In the same way that we was like, we love J. Cole. And then he came out and said, do you guys really think that I'm being honest about the things that I'm saying? Did you really think that I wasn't a false prophet? Who did you think that I was making this false prophets about? And it's just like, why can we not have the disillusionment of Black love? I don't understand. Yeah, you can be into some odd things or whatever. Not every relationship is the same or whatever. But the fact of them being together for as long as they have, having 2 kids, and containing that family unit, staying together, not having public arguments, and going back and forth with folk online and stuff, that's what we were supposed to be aspiring to be. But then August Alsina had to go off and open his big old mouth. I don't understand why we needed to know all of that information. Nobody needed to know any of it. If that was me interviewing the kid, I'd been like, hold up, listen, baby, if you have healed and you want to share your story and tell your journey, that is perfectly fine. I love that for you. Please go and tell your therapist. Do not sit up here and ruin the idea of the epitome of Black love for every Black person out there. You did that. We thought Will and Jada was what we were supposed to aspire to. You ruined that for us. And because he was the first pebble down the hill, or whatever the damn saying is, because he did what he did, she felt emboldened to do what she did. And nobody is taking a step back. Yes, Jada Pinkett had her own career aside from Will. And I really hate it when people are like, oh, she wasn't nothing. No. Y'all just didn't watch Black movies back then. I'm sorry, but you don't know black movies. I'm so sorry. I'm sure you've never even heard of Set It Off. So how are you going? Anyway, she had her own thing. He had his own thing. She said, I'm going to take a step back, do the mom thing. I'm going to bop, 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 do a little bit of this and a little bit of that, a little bit of acting here and there. She took herself out of the spotlight. Will was still in the spotlight. Will was still there. He didn't retire. He didn't decide to step aside. That was her thing. You feel me? So while your husband is still in the public eye, what made you think it would be such a great idea to address what your little fuckboy is running around telling people? You don't have to address that. Will didn't say nothing. And the only reason why he said anything was because you were going to the table with or without him. And now we have bad marriage for life? That's not what I signed up for. That's not what I signed up for. I signed up for Will and Jada and the black love. I didn't sign up for no... A nigga tell me bad marriage for life and gives me a high five, I'm slapping him dead in the face. What are you talking about, bad marriage for life? No, not with me. Not with me. Bad marriage for life? Just get the divorce papers, bro. It's that type of mentality that leads people into killing each other in these relationships that fail. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I don't know what the hell happened with that man who shot all of them babies. I have no idea what happened. I haven't looked into it. I've been incredibly busy. And I barely even touched the headlines of the story. But some man killed 7 babies. All because he didn't feel like babysitting, didn't feel like he didn't know how to say, I don't want to babysit. I don't know. I don't know the reason. I don't know the reason why he did all of that. I have no idea. Rest in peace to all of them babies. Oh my God, what a tragedy. But I'm saying, maybe that was a bad example. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. But do you understand where I'm coming from? When you don't know how to express your feelings, when you are with someone that you can't even... That's supposed to be your best friend. Okay? The one person on this earth that you know you can tell anything to. You know that this person is going to love you regardless. You know that this person is not going to... Look, we're going to work it out. We're going to figure it out, okay? We're going to figure it out, right? Unless you're doing something to intentionally hurt me. Or if you're just like, I made a mistake, and then you apologize for it, and then you make the same mistake again, and you apologize for it, and then you make the same mistake again. That's intentionally hurting me. Don't do that. Don't do that. But if you make a mistake, you slip and fall, okay, we're going to figure it out, right? That's what you're supposed to do. So if you two as a couple can't come together on certain fronts, you know, raising the kids, health insurance information, making sure that your side pieces stay quiet. I mean, that would seem to be a no-brainer. These are things you're going to have to do in a marriage. And especially a marriage to a man like Will Smith. This Big Willie. And then was talking to her mama and her daughter about, that's weird. That's some weird shit. I didn't need to know just how weird that family was. Like, y'all could have taken some pictures and smiled for us and then be quiet and let us think the illusion of something like that could be possible. And then Will over here going crazy, trying to revive his damn music career, trying to doing any and everything he can to get up underneath from this embarrassment. And this is somebody that he has been married to and has children with and been with for years. And it's like, dang, Will, did you not see any of the signs that this bitch was evil? And then you probably thinking, damn, he probably like evil bitches. Matter of fact, he probably scared of her. Probably too scared to leave. Will, that's not love. That's not love. Will, if you too scared to leave, that's not love. She holding you hostage. And I don't see why or how. Is she your money manager? Is that what's going on? Do she manage some monies for you? And ain't she been done managing? Or do she got secrets? She got secrets. That evil bitch got secrets. Look, I'm not saying that keep your relationships to yourself. I'm not saying that everybody needs to do that. When it's somebody that is a regular celebrity and a rapper comes out and says, yeah, smash homeboy wife, and they have a whole discussion about it. Yeah, okay, that's fine. You know, we can do that. We can choose to listen to it or not. But if it's the Smiths, Will and Jada, you are no longer the Smiths. You are no longer Will and Jada. You are a cultural example. When you are a cultural example, you have to move differently. You are in a completely separate lane. You're not some comedian. The Akash Singh situation, Akash had to address that. He had to. Y'all wasn't finna let it go. Akash had to address his situation with Jasleen, his wife. Because they're not the epitome of Indian love. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had to address it because of the lane in the field that they're in. And when a dog has a bone, they ain't gonna let it go. People say things about Will and Jada have had rumors of an open marriage for years. And they never addressed it. But now all of a sudden, just because this one little boy gonna talk about how he smashed his best friend mama, now all of a sudden you gotta address it? That sounds a little bit evil, and it sounds like you want to ruin your husband. And that just really just doesn't make any sense to me, because Jada had an empire when they got married. Will had an empire when they got married. Y'all supposed to marry and merge and collab your empires into one big conglomerate. So why is you trying to fuck up his money? Bitch, you think that your book sales are gonna do anything compared to a movie that he's in? You think you finna be the breadwinner? Oh, I think this bitch thinks that she finna be the breadwinner. Oh, this bitch delusional. I thought I was this bitch is really delulu. Huh. I don't know. I guess the main takeaway from this video would be watch and pay attention to the people that you are with. Watch how they talk about their exes. Watch how they maneuver. If you're catching signs of red flags, pay attention to them signs. And if your partner is not your best friend, if your partner is not somebody that you can talk to about anything with, and I mean like anything, I'm talking about you had the world's scariest effing nightmare. The worst thing that you could possibly imagine, you waking up screaming and crying. If you can't tell that person what your nightmare was about, if you can't talk it out with them, reevaluate your relationship. Otherwise, you're gonna be miserable and you're going to end up just like them. You know, this is one of the main reasons why I don't get into Black love so much. Because every time, literally every time, it's always something. There's always something. Anyway, like and subscribe or whatever. That's it for me, y'all. Bye.